Hey young humans, I'm teacher Stephanie. Last time in science we learned about pollination, and we now know that in order for plants to make more plants or reproduce, they usually start from seeds. And in order to make a seed, a flower must be pollinated, either by the help of the wind or by animals, pollinators. Today we will be exploring what happens after a plant makes a seed. Today's lesson is called Seeds Move, after this book by Robin Page. As a bonus, I'll be reading this book in another video, which you can check out later. Plants can produce a lot of seeds, and if all of those seeds grew up in the same spot as their parent plant and became plants themselves, it would get very crowded. They would all be competing for water, sunlight, and nutrients from the soil. Fun fact, if you were in college studying biology, that's the study of living things, or ecology, that's the study of a whole bunch of living things living together in an ecosystem, you would talk a lot about competition. Competition is when two or more living things try to use the same resource. So, for example, if I'm an animal that eats bananas, and you're a different animal that also eats bananas, and we are getting our bananas from the same area and getting them from the same trees, then that means that you're my competition for bananas. Plants can be competition for each other too. They are competing for different things though. Plants, when they grow, need sunlight, and if one plant grows above another plant, the plant below them will get shaded and won't get enough sun, so they are competing to reach the sunlight. Plants also suck up nutrients from the soil, so they're competing for the nutrients that they're sucking up in their roots next to each other. And they're also competing to suck up rainwater. Those are some of the things that plants compete for in nature. So that's a pretty important reason for why plants wouldn't want all of their seeds to grow right by them, because then those seeds would take away from their resources. So, what's a plant to do? How do plants solve this problem? A seed could grow much stronger and healthier if it didn't have to compete in a crowded place. But plants can't move like we do. They can't walk to a different place to grow. Because of this, plants around the world have evolved creative ways to move their seeds. This is called seed dispersal. Seed dispersal is the movement of seeds away from the parent plant. And there are 4 ways, or methods, that seeds move. The first method is water. Plants that live near water, like rivers, lakes, or oceans, might drop their seeds into the water, and then the seeds float away, moving to a new place to grow. An example of a seed that moves on water is the coconut. Let's practice the sign language sign for water together. Water. You make a W by using 3 fingers, and then you tap it to your mouth. Water. The next method is wind. Plants that have seeds that are dispersed or move on the wind are usually light and fluffy. A perfect example of this is dandelion seeds. Let's practice the sign for wind together. Wind. You move your hands back and forth as if they're blowing in the breeze. The third method is something called explosive action. This is when a plant pushes their seed out, launching them away from them. Some examples of plants that do this are the exploding cucumber and the touch-me-not flower. Let's practice the sign for explosive. It's a fun one. You put your fists tightly together, and then you spread all your fingers out and move your hands away. That's explosive. The fourth and final method of how seeds move is by animals. Let's practice the sign for animals together. You can put your hands on your chest and then move them together. You can imagine like you're the animal's lungs breathing. Animal. I personally think that using animals is the most interesting method to move seeds. A plant might make pokey seeds that sticks into the fur of animals, like in this photo, or plants will grow seeds inside of a delicious fruit. This means that when an animal comes by to eat the fruit, they will also likely eat the seeds that are inside. Then after they digest the fruit and seeds, they will leave droppings, and in that animal scat is the scientific word for animal poop, they will leave the seeds behind there as well. This means that the seeds will be able to grow far away from the parent plant wherever that animal leaves its droppings. So plants make fruit as suitcases for seeds, containers that can carry their seeds far away. And every single fruit that grows was grown from a flower after the flower was pollinated and carries seeds inside. If there is ever a fruit that does not have seeds inside of it, that means that that fruit is sterile and won't be able to make plant babies. Sometimes humans change fruit and genetically modify them so that they don't have seeds inside them. I've eaten oranges and watermelons that don't have seeds, and that means that it's easier for us to eat because sometimes humans don't like eating seeds. But that also means that that fruit will not be able to grow any more plants. We've covered a lot of information in this video. For your work this week, I'm going to give you 2 curious questions that I would like you to think about. We can discuss these questions at our meeting next week. The first curious question that I would like you to think about is, what are some things that you think might disrupt or get in the way of seed dispersal? You might want to think about the 4 methods of seed dispersal that we talked about in this video. What might be some things that might get in the way of that, or that might make plants not be able to disperse their seeds? The second curious question today is, if you could create a new method of seed dispersal or moving seeds, what would it be? If you could invent a new plant, or if you were a plant, how would you move your seeds around? You can be as creative as you like, and I can't wait to hear your ideas. Until next time, I'll say thank you for learning with me. Bye!